So we have here week 11, 2024 NFL TV schedule and the maps here. We have the TV coverage map here for the CBS early and late and Fox single. So most of the country is going to see Baltimore, Pittsburgh, along with the Eagle and Charles Davis, along with Alaska and Hawaii. Let me get into some of the games. And most of the games are very regionalized, other than maybe the areas that you'd expect to show the game on Sunday. The Sunday area of these teams, it's pretty regionalized. Okay, so we have CBS early in the, let's talk about the second game. Jacksonville, Detroit, we have upper Michigan. Then we have all lower Michigan, except for the SB area in Indiana. They get it in the Chicago area and the Peoria area are showing Jacksonville, Detroit as well. And the Savannah, Georgia, Tallahassee, Florida, Jacksonville area, and Orlando, Florida areas are showing that game as well. We have Indianapolis and my Jets with not all of Indiana, but some of Indiana, or most of Indiana, except for Louisville area that goes in Indiana, and areas on the Ohio-Indiana border. The Ohio station just barely. We have also a little bit of Indiana in the EW area in Kentucky. And we also have the New York City area, the Hartford, Connecticut area, a little bit of Vermont, it's in Massachusetts, and the Albany, New York area. It just goes into tiny tad Pennsylvania. We have New Jersey as well. That's Indianapolis and my Jets with Andrew Cullen, Tiki Murray, and Jason McCourty. In the Minnesota, Tennessee area. Looks like the most space for a scheme, the most like land area, but I don't think it's like the most viewers maybe, other than the main game. It might be actually the second most. It could be the most. And the second most Indianapolis and my Jets could be just because of the exterior. We have Minnesota, Tennessee with Spur Leads and Marchetta. We have North South Dakota, Lower Nebraska, Montana, Wyoming area, just a tad of each state. We have most of Iowa and a little bit of the Quad Cities, and Iowa spreads into Illinois, just a little tad. And we have most of Wisconsin and tiny tad of upper Michigan, and I think it's a Wisconsin station, but then the tiny tad of it's a Michigan station gets the Jacksonville Traits. Then we have Las Vegas, Miami, Tom McCarthy, Russ Tucker, and Jay Feely, the sixth crew. We have Mobile, PC, Mobile, Alabama, PC in Florida, a tiny little bit of Alabama. We have Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, Miami area. Then we have Sacramento, Reno, and Las Vegas area in Nevada. And then those areas, Sacramento area, could be like the Oakland, California area. Because Las Vegas used to be in Oakland, California. So maybe that's part of that area too. And Las Vegas, Miami is, I forgot to mention, it's also in a little bit of Kentucky. It's a little tad of Virginia, of Tennessee for the most part, except for a little bit of area that gets like a city station that goes into Huntsville, Alabama, and a little bit of Mississippi and Alabama that gets like Memphis station. And the CBS Late Jamaican's terminal on Kansas City at Buffalo has nationally televised, so no need for the map. We have the TV coverage map. Now this is interesting. We have the Fox single window. Usually like some areas that you see having the late window game. Some areas that you see, they have the late window game typically if your team's playing on the other channel early, but that's not the case for all areas. We have we have the feature game Kimberg That's a lot of the country, but it's like basically like North South Dakota border area. Other than Arizona, most Arizona, the border area is like North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. That gets a hard cutoff for that game. And East, most of the country in that area, we'll see it. But we have LA Rams at New England, and Rick Sanchez, that's in Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, San Diego area. We have most of the Northeast, like Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine, those areas. It's most of the Northeast, and most of the small states like Rhode Island, those. Then we have, and it goes to Burlington, Vermont air station. It goes into a tiny tad of New York. There's a little bit of New York, so that station. We have Cleveland at New Orleans at Kenny Johnson. That's in the Cleveland, Cincinnati area. That's most of Ohio area. It gets a tiny tad Pittsburgh. That's the Cleveland House Station. Pennsylvania gets a Cleveland House Station. We have a tiny little bit of West Virginia that gets a house station. And then we have all of most of Mississippi, a little bit of Arkansas, a little bit of Texas and Oklahoma, they got Louisiana stations. Then we have Mobile, Alabama, a little bit of Tennessee, a little bit of Alabama, and PC area in Florida. Then we have Seattle, San Francisco late, which is with Joe Davis Gregos. That's most of the West Coast. We have Seattle, we have Washington, Oregon, most of California, Tucson, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, some of Montana, Wyoming, not all of it. And then we have Detroit, Michigan, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland. We have the New York City area. Those few areas get the late game, like the New York City area, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. Those areas have a late window game at 4:05 Eastern at San Francisco. There are areas that get the 3:05 Eastern game or the 4:05 Eastern game as well. Pennsylvania, Denver. But let's talk about the main areas we're going to get that. No, we'll probably get this. We have some of Montana, Wyoming, some of South Dakota, Nebraska, all of Colorado. We have most of New Mexico except for it's El Paso Station, Texas. We have a little bit of Arizona that gets a Mexico Station, but that's normal. We have a little bit of Texas. We have the Amarillo, Texas area, and a little bit of Oklahoma. We have most of Alabama. We have Georgia, and we have the Tallahassee and Jacksonville areas in Florida are getting Atlanta, Denver, Jacksonville, Florida was showing early game though. And some of those other areas that were showing that we're getting the game, like Tallahassee, Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia, we got Tallahassee, Florida, and Jacksonville, Florida are getting this game because of that. And then we have Nashville, Tennessee, which got an early game, it's considered a window game. They're getting a late window game. And then people in proximity of an AFC team, that kind of might impact them for playoffs. Stuff like that. I mean, they might be actually showing that game. So there's AFC teams, a few that don't actually impact them, like Pittsburgh and Baltimore. New York City's AFC and NFC, so Pittsburgh, Baltimore, so that does not necessarily impact them too much, but for playoffs. But Then we have Miami, Florida, and I guess in Nashville, Tennessee. In Miami, they had an early window game. Las Vegas and Miami, so they get a late window game with Atlanta at Denver with Kevin Kugler and Daryl Johnston. Alaska and Hawaii are actually choosing to show the light window Seattle at San Francisco game. And Alaska always bases off what Seattle, Washington area is, or that area is showing. And then Atlanta, but Hawaii always based off either the majority of California or the Las Vegas area in California. But Seattle at San Francisco is a better game though. Than the LA Rams in New England, so you can see why. So that's your Fox single window and CBS early and late windows. It's basically a CBS early and the Fox single, the CBS late. There's only one game on, and it's nationally televised. So this is kind of interesting, to have overlaps of games, to have Minnesota getting Green Bay at Chicago, to have Indianapolis getting Green Bay at Chicago. That most of Michigan getting Green Bay at Chicago except for the Detroit area. That's kind of surprising, some areas that are playing a single game, or getting an extra game early. Window game. Yeah, so some of that is kind of surprising. Areas that would guess single game, early game. Minnesota area, the Indianapolis area. Those are the two areas that. Most of Detroit, most of Minnesota. Minnesota, rest of Michigan. You have Indianapolis. I'm surprised those three areas actually got a single game. Got actually a single game in the early window, because Indianapolis at NY Jets. Michigan is gonna watch Jacksonville, Detroit, but the only Detroit, Michigan area has. But at least they do have for the Detroit, Michigan area also. But even the immediate Minneapolis, Minnesota team is showing Green Bay, Chicago instead of Minnesota showing them. Or just Minnesota, Tennessee, and showing a late window game Seattle, San Francisco, or Atlanta at Denver. So, but then again, Wisconsin is showing Minnesota, Tennessee, but when there's two games on, they can show a second game on and showing early and late. They have to show two, regardless if it's the first game against any viewers or it's a intermediary team or whatever. But all these teams, if they're showing us one game in the early window, they could switch. Fox could switch to the late, but my area we get Minnesota and Wisconsin viewers. It goes and extends in Wisconsin, so maybe for the people that are in Wisconsin, they might keep that on one. Well, I could see that.